My name is Oliver Nixon, and this is On. Hi guys, so AMD had their presentation last night, and I got excited. The big reveal was of course the Radeon 7, which is said to be AMD's return to high-end performance gaming in 4K. The spec sheet is quite impressive, sporting 16GB of HBM, while having a 1TB a second memory bandwidth and having 3840 stream processors, which is really required to get those high frame rates in 4K gaming. All this built on a 7nm platform. They compared the Radeon 7 to the RTX 2080 in some 4K tests shown on stage. They also showed the upcoming Devil May Cry 5 in 4K ultra settings at around 80 to 100 FPS. AMD were also trying to showcase Radeon 7's computing powers with 29% performance gain in Blender, Adobe Premiere and DaVinci Resolve, and with a 62% performance gain in OpenCL compared to the Radeon Vega 64. What these performance gains actually mean is yet unknown, but if they entail faster encoding times in DaVinci Resolve 15, it would make me consider getting a Radeon 7 for my next GPU. Until now we didn't have any actual performance numbers, but AMD did a press release showcasing us performance in 4K, comparing the Radeon 7 with the Vega 64 and not the RTX 2080. But a comparison was made with the RTX 2080 on two games, Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Ghost Recon Wildlands. And this is where things get interesting. Compared to the RTX 2080, the Radeon 7 performs 5.5% worse in Ghost Recon Wildlands and 14.5% worse in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And things get even grimmer when the 2-year-old GTX 1080 Ti performs equal in these two titles in comparison to the brand new Radeon 7. Emphasis should be put on AMD not using finalized drivers. So the Radeon 7 could be improved when it releases the 7th of February at a price of $699. That roughly equals the price of the RTX 2080 when it was released. A bit sidelined by the Radeon 7 reveal is the AMD's move into the ultra-thin laptop segment with the reveal of the second generation AMD's Ryzen mobile processors, ranging from AMD's Athlon 300U processor with 2 cores and 4 threads, with a base frequency of 2.3 GHz and with a boost frequency at 3.3 Hz, including a Vega-free mobile GPU, up to Ryzen 7 with 4 cores, 8 threads at a base frequency of 2.3 GHz, while boost whips it out to 4.0 GHz with AMD's Vega 10 mobile GPU. These new CPUs are capable of delivering a 10-hour battery life with 4K HDR streaming using services like Netflix, with the requirement of course that you have the right monitor. AMD is also entering the Chromebook market for the first time, which is defined by its cheap price, the use of Chrome OS and its ultra portability. With the AMD A6, they hope to give the Intel Pentium N4200 a run for its money, sporting a 23% performance increase in web browsing and a 42% performance increase in photo editing. AMD will deliver these new processors in Acer's Chromebook 315 and HP's Chromebook 14, rumored to be released sometime during the first quarter at a price of $300. The third generation of the Ryzen series was also teased, but not fleshed out in a meaningful way. But the year is still young, and I'm sure we'll have more information until its release in the middle of 2019. So going back to the Radeon 7, which on paper it looks like a beast of a card. I mean, it really does. And I was excited about that this was, AMD's big comeback to the stage of high performance gaming, especially in 4K. But my expectations got a bit hampered when I saw the actual performance numbers. This picture gives you a perspective when it comes to the Radeon 7 reveal. But on the other side of the spectrum, why should you complain? I mean, a lot of people have wanted AMD to release a high-end GPU for some time now, and this is what we got. I mean, does it perform like an RTX 2080 Ti? Of course not. It's not realistic, to be honest. And the Radeon 7 is something to build upon for the future, while we still have Navi on the horizon, which could introduce things like ray tracing on a wider scale. But as with many things, we'll just have to wait and see. If anything, AMD has showed us in the past that their cards do perform better as time goes along. And this is going to be the case for the Radeon 7 as well. So, CES 2019 is officially over. I'm gonna do a summary video showcasing some new consumer products, so stay tuned for that. As always, thank you for watching.